Welcome to No Strings Attached, the fitness podcast where Pilates meets ... the end of the world. Today we're asking the question that we never thought we'd ask: which fitness moves will save us in the apocalypse? Joining me today, I've got Nish, fitness enthusiast, professional apocalypse theorist, and someone I definitely want on my team if the world is going to end. This episode is quite light-toned, a little bit ridiculous, and packed with your ideas for surviving everything from the zombie apocalypse to aliens. And we've got some surprising apocalypse facts to throw in along the way. So, Nish, I want to ask you, what is your ideal apocalypse scenario with your professional experience?
Nice way to start here. Okay, so I think maybe either like a flower-themed apocalypse, Mother Nature takes back, right? Everything kind of goes back all the way into the nice grasslands, everything. That reminds me of home. Or probably like a Dogoplex one, right? You know, the dogs take over. Yeah. And we just have to continue to pay fetch. Good. I think that would be like a dream scenario apocalypse for me.
How would that actually lead to the end of the world?
I think we just get tired and they just snuggle us, right?
Snuggle to death.
Yeah, snuggle to death, basically.
I think for me, I think the zombie apocalypse scenario is actually quite ideal because I've never actually understood why it's so scary. They're slow. So long as you lock the door and have a Ring camera, like, what's the big deal? Just don't let them in your house, you know? And then eventually, if everyone just locks their doors and doesn't go out, then they won't have any food and they'll die. And the ones who do go out, when there's a zombie apocalypse that eat brains, probably don't have brains to feed on anyway. So it's like, they'd soon die out and it just actually wouldn't end up being the end of the world.
You can just see a lot of us having walkways between our houses, like sling ropes or something like, you know, little seats on them, you just zip line across.
Do you think the zombies could end up learning to do those things?
Zip lining? Oh, no, that would be fun.
All right, so that actually does lead us on to our first apocalypse scenario, which is the zombie apocalypse. So my dream apocalypse scenario here we're going to get to talking about. So the question is, what's your fitness plan?
For a zombie apocalypse, right? Okay, so I'm thinking, now if we're assuming that they're the slow ones, right, and the brain-eating kind of zombies, I'm thinking a little bit of hurdle training. That's what you're going to need, so you can jump over them, right? That's what you're going to need. A little bit of hurdle training, and then I think parkour. I think hurdle training is, hurdle over them, jump up the wall, get them all into a nice wee alleyway, a little bit of Molotov cocktail, and off you go for dinner. But yeah, I think that's a key skill for me, hurdling.
Well, the thing is, I'm sort of thinking, if I'm training for it, I kind of want to enjoy it. So I quite like dance fitness. And I had this idea with zombies. So they're dead, or are they undead?
They're undead, right?
Are they undead?
They're dead, but they're not dead?
But they look decayed. So,
our zombies are going to be decayed. They're going to be classical decayed zombies, right?
So, are their muscles actually regenerating if they, have a workout?
Oh, man.
Because I could just, give them dance fitness workouts, and then they just disintegrate.
I'm getting, Michael Jackson Thrillers right now.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the scenario. So I'd be on the roof or whatever, just so that they don't eat me while I'm teaching. But I imagine an arena of zombies and me just dancing it out to Thriller. It's quite energetic. I think it would tire them out. So hurdle jumping for you.
Yep.
Dance fitness for me. And if zombies showed up tomorrow, what's your first move? Sprinting, hiding, or choreographing a dance?
See, I think my first move would be just stand still. I'm just hoping
like a bee,
yeah.
I'm don't let it
like a bear in the wild. If you stand still, it can't see you. So I'm hoping they can't see me. I'm hoping the zombies are blind or something.
How do they detect you?
I don't know. Maybe it's heat. Maybe it's body heat. They can tell you.
Standing
or maybe it's
still
movement, or maybe because some of the zombies aren't going to have eyes, right? So the ears, they just listen for you. It's gonna be like Quiet Place, isn't it?
I'm just imagining one landing on your shoulder. And we were stay still. Don't move. What about my first move? Yeah, and my first move, I think just walk away. If some creepy guy is following me along the street, my initial move is just to walk across the street, subtly. He might not even notice that it's intent. For all he knows, I'm going that way. If he then crosses the street... The
zombie's just assuming, she's not on my path. She's got her own day thing. Yeah. So I'm not going to bother her. I'm just going to go for the next person after because she looks busy right now. She doesn't want to be eaten right now.
Exactly. So I cross the street first. If they also cross the street, then I'd have to speed up. I think at that point I'd probably run, because if it's like the first time I've encountered a zombie.
But some zombies are fast.
They are, okay.
Right.
So if they run, then I've got to run.
You're going to have like the winger zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that they send down the wing to just like scout for things, just for scout for brains.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to think of a different way to get away from them.
Well, running, I guess it's how far is this zombie behind me? Because if he's really fast and can sprint,
It's true.
then I don't know if I stand much of a chance. But if it's like quite far away, I might have a shot at just outrunning him endurance-wise.
Sounds like my dog. Like he's thinking if he can I chase somebody? It's like he's thinking how far away from him to catch him. If I can't catch him, he's gonna go.
Right.
It feels like the same kind of analysis now, right? But yeah, but I guess the thing is, if a zombie runs too fast, maybe their legs will fall off.
Yeah, same principle as the dance fitness thing. Like they get tired. Because I was thinking the other day if zombies might get knee injuries. Like if they, well, their muscles are weak and they're so the fast zombies. I didn't even know about fast zombies. Brittle bones. Exactly. They're undead, so they've been decaying. Do they, when they come back to life?
Well, I mean, they're not getting enough of the calcium, right? They're not drinking any milk or anything like that. Their bones
They're just
are
eating brains.
Yeah.
So running is apparently a needed skill in the apocalypse. Whether they're fast or slow, it's probably handy to be able to run just in case. So what would we do to train it? So we'd go, for our sprinting, knee injuries to protect your joints. We'd need Pilates in the fitness apocalypse here. We need Pilates. I've got to bring it in.
Yeah, we're going to need that flexibility. It's a lot of pounding the pavement right there.
Exactly.
Right,
and we need, the glute med, the hip oscillation.
We're going to need the fast movements as well, because if we've got zombies coming here, you're going to have to then go down the alleyways. Typical thing. Then we do my parkour.
The agility. Yeah, your parkour and your hurdling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So you're going to need the Pilates for all of that, because you're going to need the hip mobility.
So suddenly, all of London has become an unofficial Tough Mudder. And there's just random ropes but you did say that they would get all set up, so
climbs, oh gosh, no. Yeah, so that means that dance fitness can come into that, right? Because that's going to help you. That's going to give you the cardio, it's going to give you the flexibility, it's going to give you the
rhythm, exactly, because the zombies they like to dance apparently in Thriller. And then I used to do a little bit of running. I do a lot less now because of having an injury.
Did you used to run thinking the zombies were after you?
Well, maybe. There is actually an app. I can't remember what it's called, but it is a zombie apocalypse, and it's like you have the audio and you play it, and it gamifies it for you. It gamifies it, so you sort of do a slow run, and then when it's your sprint, the zombies are catching up. It's like I think it's called Run Zombies Run, the app. So you have to run away when it's the zombies are there, so you have to speed up. So if you're doing your sprints,
this would be good for like VR right now. Right, this is like Meta needs to get onto this one here. They need to get
That's actually so true. I think all the ultramarathon runners, they'll be pretty well equipped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're used to running through the night as well. They can run through all different terrains.
And they've got all the little obstacles as well, like the hurdles. They can probably do that from.
But they could benefit from Pilates as well. They're going to need to keep that muscle supple and everything like that. We're going to do a lot of running. They would be the people who would be sent out to get groceries for us and then come back.
That's so true. Although maybe society would hate them for the amount they're eating. Like if resources are depleted,
that is
it would just be like, stop hogging all the carbs.
No, we'll have to do like a relay system so they don't get burnt out then. Yeah.
Okay, so final verdict. What are we calling? What is the essential fitness? If we had to pick one, what are you going to pick? One fitness aspect or regime.
I think Pilates would be doing it. I think it's got a mix of everything, right? And I think especially if it's reformers.
Oh yeah, you're into the reformers.
That's going to build up everything for you. It's going to
build
true. A little bit of cardio, muscle endurance. It's going to build flexibility. True. Out of that you can build off all of that to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Reformer burpees, so you can get your cardio as well. Do you know
I
what?
haven't got there yet.
I was thinking just running, but now I kind of like your answer. All right, so we're voting for reformer Pilates for the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Running is a strong second.
Yeah, if you live in an area without reformer Pilates, then just start running. Because if you live in an area without reformer Pilates, then most likely you're in the countryside, so you have really nice views and there aren't people in the way.
Plus you've got horses.
And you've got horses, so if you get tired, you can ride at home.
Horses. Let's not go there.
So scenario 2. Okay, scenario 2, alien invasion. They're here, they're advanced, and they're probably already judged our fitness routines. So what is your survival strategy?
Man, okay, so Yeah, no. So my current regime right now is M&S truffles. And so I've been back at the Reformers, so that's my regime right now. So yeah,
Okay.
no, I think for aliens, oh man, I think aliens would be impressed by parkour. I mean, I know I've already said parkour, but I say it because I cannot do it.
Right.
But I think parkour, that's gonna dazzle them, literally jump over their heads. I think parkour is gonna be. I think that's the way to go with aliens.
So I'm thinking that aliens, they probably think we're dumb. So if we're doing like parkour, it's the same as when we see like a dog wearing a jumper. Oh, bless him.
It's not normal, but it's adorable.
Yeah.
Is that what you think? That's what you think
Maybe
of
that's
us?
what aliens think of parkour. But I'm a little bit sidetracked in my mind. I actually wonder which resource aliens would invade us for, because given the idea of like the universe being massive, ever expanding, millions of planets,
True.
what would be here that they want? Like they'd have had to be, and they have to be like ahead of us on tech. They have to be,
They're gonna know the wonders of the solar system and the universe, right? They've already found how to beat the speed of light. What else can we offer them?
Exactly. What do we have?
You can tell I'm hungry right now, but I'm thinking cheesecake. We have cheesecake.
Maybe if they did come here, it would actually be to just have us as their slaves. In a very platonic way, or not. I don't know.
Like, if they're super advanced, right, they're not going to need us to clean their ships, right? They're going to have robots to do that. They're not going to need us to cook. They're going to just like zap it up if they want, right? Yeah. I'm not really sure what we would do.
They would want.
We'd be like the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. We'd provide them with a social connection.
They would just groom us. They would feed us. Take us for walks. We'd have some nap time, have some playtime. Every now and then we get put in the corner.
Well, we can give them, Pilates classes as well.
We give them Pilates classes, man. Now I'm picturing dogs giving us Pilates classes and thinking, how would that work?
But if they did kidnap us as their slaves, they would actually probably want the sort of more social jobs to be done. So actually here in England, I think it might have been the US actually, if I remember right, they did actually develop like an AI PT, and I think it was something ridiculous, like 70% of people still just didn't work out with it, because what they wanted out of a personal trainer was the sort of human connection and the interaction, like feeling like you're connected to someone. Like you're not accountable to an app, you're not accountable to AI. People know when it's technology versus a human.
Yeah, I'm thinking when I go to a class, I go because I want someone to keep me true, right? It's almost like you want the pressure, the peer pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
To finish it, to do it kind of thing.
Exactly. And when you have either a group setting where it's a lot of people, so it's your peers pressuring you, or if it's a one-on-one, like a PT, there's still that human person. If there's just a robot filming you, and say we got it to like this level where it can assess your technique sort of dynamically, or what's the word? Ergonomically, if it's like correct, it could technically assess. Right? Yeah. And grade you and correct you, but
although it tells you that verbally, but they can't come and physically move you.
True.
Into your position. Think of like a deadlift. It can tell you, but like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
True. Though that being said, with the tactile correction,
dumbbells have gone through the window.
Well, with the physical corrections, so it's actually called tactile cueing. So it's not necessarily correcting. Sometimes it's just to make you work harder. Sometimes it's just to make you aware of what you're doing. But this is very, very sort of placebo, because there's research. I'll try and look it up and link it. But there is actually research that people learn better without it, because you're forced to think about what you're doing.
Oh, interesting.
So you need someone like standing over you telling you you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. But if we physically put people in place...
Oh yeah, you get a bit of muscle memory from that as well.
Yeah, so people kind of...
You need to feel what good is.
Yeah.
And then try and get it back to it.
So you still want someone overseeing you and doing it. But in terms of the physical correction, like pushing you into place, it's not proven to make people learn better or faster. In fact, if anything, the opposite direction, because you're not thinking about what you're doing. So that's a little fun fact.
As you mentioned, people would prefer to have a person like doing it with them. Elite athletes all have coaches.
Exactly. They hold you accountable. And there is an element of, when you're on a training plan, of decision fatigue. So there's a million roads to get where you want. And it's just, you got to stick to one to get where you want. But it is so hard. I do it myself. I second guess myself. I'm like, oh, maybe I could do more today or less tomorrow, or what. I chop and change. Whereas if it's written out in front of me and I know someone's looking at it, I won't change it.
You can focus your energy on the doing.
Yeah.
And not the deciding.
Exactly. So when I'm going through a slump, I will often hire like an online coach. Just
keep you true.
6 weeks, 8 weeks,
help you
12
through
weeks,
it.
whatever I feel like. Just get rid of the decision fatigue. It's all laid out for me. And then when they're doing it, I can't just go in my computer and just change it because I don't feel like doing it that day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I found that a lot easier. Alien invasion. What is going to be our fitness strategy? Because we have got to bear in mind, if they do kidnap us and take us away, so if they just vaporize us, I think we're done for. But if they decide that they want to kidnap us and just take us away from Earth, there's the zero gravity. How are we going to prepare for that?
You know, so like astronauts go through like a really rigorous training routine
Yeah.
to prepare for that. And even they struggle with that. And like when they come back, the thing is, our body's not made for that kind of stuff. So
No.
I'm thinking like my parkour would be no use in space.
Well, it'd be really easy in space.
Thinking, yeah, but the hard thing is if you came back from, so if they take you and then they release you and bring you back, it takes you all that time to build the muscle again. Because when you're in space, you lose all your muscle, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So the real question is, who's going to survive better? Is it alien slave? But it's going to be the people with no muscle, right? Because they're not going to have to adjust.
Well, but then they've got less to let disintegrate.
Oh, that's true. I don't really know what my fitness regime would be then. I'm going to have to ask NASA.
Fair. I think they do a lot of weights, don't they?
They have a treadmill on the space station, don't they?
Yeah.
Right. So they do rowing. They do a lot of rowing.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
cardio.
but they do it for the car. Yeah, it's not going to help you with an alien, but yeah.
Let's look this up. So I've just looked it up. They exercise for about 2.5 hours a day, with about an hour spent on the treadmill. So in space, astronauts don't need their muscles and bones to support their bodies, so they weaken without exercise, and it's called atrophy. Actually, it happens to humans if we don't do anything, if we're completely sedentary.
In bed, yeah, you find a lot of patients who stayed in hospital for quite a while.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, for example, after hospital, they had the muscle, the leg warmers and stuff like that, and they actually move the muscles and stuff like that, or on a plane. You know, you get deep vein, so they say they move around. But 2.5 hours a day, that's more exercise than I do. I think I'm fairly active as well.
It depends what we define as exercise here, because I'm on my feet a lot. So if we count walking, I'm definitely exercising 2.5 hours a day. Because I got a treadmill, so an hour of it.
Yeah.
If an hour of it is, it depends if it's walking or running.
I guess the rest of it's just swimming in the air.
Yeah. I think I should be hired as the Pilates instructor so that they get good shots in space.
Extraterrestrial Pilates instructor.
I mean, I feel like NASA, it needs to up its social media game, and they need really aesthetic photos. So
because the one Hubble takes is not good enough, right?
No, exactly. Of the astronauts just doing nice poses in space.
Just while they're moonwalking, spacewalking.
Exactly. Before we finish off our alien invasion officially, what are we deciding? Pilates, dance fitness, or something else? What is our space strategy?
Space strategy? I'm thinking parkour comes here. I'm thinking...
You're just thinking about entertaining yourself in space.
I really want to learn how to do parkour. I think parkour is going to be the way to go with that as well. I think we're going to need to run off things, use gravity to our advantage. Yeah, I think parkour. I'm just thinking about parkour would be useful in the moon though.
I think...
Would Neil Armstrong have used parkour?
I'm thinking you're going to befriend the aliens and start up a beginner parkour course up in space. You'll like be in business with the aliens, just everyone who wants to do parkour but just doesn't have the joints for it. Just off in space.
Oh man, imagine the aliens came while we're having the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. And
they think the zombies are the humans and they take them back onto the Earth.
That would be great.
And that's how we end the apocalypse.
So smart.
We've got it sorted. I will tell NASA that one as well.
So alien invasion actually kind of works quite well for you. That's not going to be the end of your... To be fair, it's a new beginning for you. For me, alien invasion, I mean, as a Pilates instructor, I'll probably have work.
You're just going to sit there and try and woo them with your dance fitness?
Yeah, just like my jiggling.
You're jiggling.
My jiggling. This is my jiggling, everyone.
I think we're diverging in agreement there, but
yeah,
either both have merits.
Yeah, we'll both survive. I can't say that everyone on Earth will survive, but if you do want to prepare, then you need to have your business plan rather than your fitness plan, it seems.
Your business plan.
Your business plan. We're going into business with the aliens. But Mother Nature, that segues us into our final big scenario, which is a climate catastrophe. And this one is probably the more realistic scenario out of the three. I mean, never say never. I would be quite surprised with an alien invasion. I was going to say entertained, but I don't know.
All
it's
the
sort of...
movies have foretold it, so we really shouldn't be. I mean, Will Smith, you know, he's done 2 movies on it already. Actually, he's done like Men in Black as well. You know, there's obviously, we should be well prepared for this by now.
Right. So.
No parkour though.
No parkour. Floods, fires, extreme catastrophes. What is going to be your fitness move here?
Okay, floods. I'm thinking. This is going to show I'm not a very good swimmer. I'm just thinking I'm going to backstroke the whole time. I want my face up. I don't want to swallow any water. I'm just going to backstroke.
You'll run out of energy.
No, then I can just lie on my back.
Okay.
I can just lie on my back and just do this.
So
with my
backloading.
feet. Yeah, I think just backstroke the most. That's my one move, and that's what I'm just going to hope for.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
For a flood, maybe free diving. So
Free diving.
yeah, that's where you hold your breath and dive under.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking if it's severely flooded, all the resources are going to be underwater.
Very true.
So if I can hold my breath for a long time and swim down, and then at least I can replenish the calories I burn.
What are you gonna get from the bottom of the ocean though? You're not gonna get food.
No, I'll swim into like a Tesco's, an abandoned Tesco's. Get the canned goods out, you know, the non-perishables, and all this stuff is like packaged in plastic. And to be fair, I mean, I don't know, we've got plenty of water to cook it in. It's just finding a way to heat it.
Oh man, that's super salty.
We're assuming it's seawater rather than a freshwater flood.
That is true. Yeah, I'm assuming seawater flood.
Yeah, you're thinking of like the oceans rising. I'm thinking Noah in the Ark situation.
Oh, we're being smited.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
flood.
So you're thinking free diving.
Yes.
I'm thinking backstroke. Backstroke.
You're gonna have to rely on people like me to get food for you.
One of
Noah's.
And then you can rely on me to then get it to one person to another person.
Oh, but why am I feeding other people? I trained my free diving.
Because we have to put you back up. Somebody has to be there with the rope for free diving.
Yeah, but then it's just going to be, you won't have to take it anywhere because that person's going to be at the top. I'll be like, here's a can of chickpeas for you. Here's mine. All right.
What do you think is going to be the best catastrophe food, be it nuclear apocalypse, zombie apocalypse?
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter is going to survive everything. Man,
well, I mean, it's high calorie, so you've got an excuse to eat a jar because that's your day's food.
That is true. But I'm thinking for a wildfire. So I'm thinking I can't outrun it. I can't outclimb it because it goes up. So I'm not really sure what I could do. I'm thinking the best thing I could do is hotwire a car and try and get away from it from that way. So I'm going to have to Google that tonight. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any fitness regime that's going to be from a wildfire. Except for tuck and roll.
What about ultra marathon running in a desert? Prepares you for the heat.
Have you ever seen a fire in a desert?
No, there's nothing for it to catch fire to.
So we just need to live in the desert then?
Yeah.
That's the strategy, is just to live in the desert.
And just like run in it. Exactly. Because then you get even hotter and sweatier and you learn to adapt to the heat. So you just live with the fire.
That is true. Although Antarctica's a desert.
Right.
So then we would just what would be our fitness regime? So in the desert, our fitness regime is to learn how to do fire dancing, right? That's our fitness regime there, right? Yeah. Control the fire.
Or maybe, have you ever seen these daredevils that sort of literally set themselves alight and run around? Maybe we need to be a daredevil. That's a sport now. Maybe the fitness regime for a wildfire is be a daredevil and then have a motorbike with you at all times and then you can just ride through the fire.
On fire.
On fire.
Because fire beats fire, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're on fire, the fire can't be any more damaging to you.
No, exactly.
I mean, there is some logic to that for sure. For a flood, we've got free diving and backstroke, and then for a wildfire, we've got be on fire.
Yes.
Right, okay.
I'm not sure if there's circus skills. You're sort of playing with fire when you juggle it, and the fire dancing, like these little ninja things.
The ninja thing, the nunchucks.
Are they nunchucks? These things that they look like little.
And they put on fire with the balls.
Yeah, they look like the little things that the priests wave around, but they're on fire. Sorry, I don't know what the name of those is. The incense balls? I don't want to.
Yeah, it's incense trays. That's what the priests do in the churches.
Yeah.
But they just light the fire.
Exactly.
Fireballs.
And okay, so I always want to try and see if Pilates can help us. Like, yes, Pilates is the right thing to be doing for wildfires and swimming. Wildfires and floods. Apologies. I'm trying to think. So for swimming, I mean, it might help you a little bit, but you'd probably be better off just spending that hour you're doing Pilates to do an extra swim session.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
And then for the wildfire, Pilates on fire.
Well, I mean, the exercises do burn. So it does kind of prepare you.
I feel like you were holding that one back.
It does burn a lot, Pilates. But then we go on to reformer Pilates or mat. Because you're not going to have a reformer in a wildfire.
You can't carry a reformer with you. I can carry my mat with me. I can just put that in my bag and just go with it. So I think it's got to be mat Pilates.
Mat Pilates.
Yeah.
You know, you have got the breathing techniques in Pilates, so they can help you stay calm.
That's true.
In a crisis.
Especially when there's less oxygen now.
Exactly, and so that could be helpful.
You don't even need to do a warm-up anymore because the heat would just do that for you.
Exactly. So dance fitness, well, let's see. Is that going to be helpful in a climate catastrophe?
So dance fitness maybe could come in use there if you have that power, if you have the sway, then you can maybe do that. So yeah, so maybe it could, or it could be used as a communication device, right?
To the fire?
Yeah, well, if you've got a tsunami, you can't like fire to like communicate. You're gonna have no power lines. So you're gonna have to do dance, binoculars.
Oh yeah, true.
Binoculars with the dancing. Yeah.
True.
So that's
yeah.
It'd
be like a sign language, but full body.
Just eagle pose.
I don't know why I did that. Yeah, that would be really cool, actually, if there was like a full body version of sign language.
There you go.
Why has that not been developed?
I say because we don't need it.
What about people who are deaf but also hard of sight?
So you got blind and deaf as well, but they can still do braille. Yeah, they can still do braille, and you get tactile feedback from them.
Yeah, but it takes ages to write braille.
Well, you can't write. You don't write braille.
Well, exactly. So how am I going to give the blind people a message?
That's true. Oh well, the Morse code. Tap tap
Okay.
tap 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 tap.
My way is way more fun, if I'm honest.
How are they going to see if they're blind?
I mean, I said hard of sight, so they can see big shapes. Then maybe they're long-sighted, so they can.
You can see the distance, but they can't see up close. Right? Okay.
Deaf people who are long-sighted got to do like dance sign language.
Survival.
I think there is actually some kind of signals that it's not sign language, but
they'll have it on
like
boats
Coast Guard and stuff.
Ships,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, planes.
Yeah.
And then they start dancing to Taylor Swift afterwards.
Maybe that's why they wear the headphones.
Just listening to the.
They actually where they're doing this
Spotify
with
mix.
Take off
See
mix.
that? Yeah.
Landing mix.
Take off mix.
Oh my god.
So we agree, dance fitness has a place in survival in a climate catastrophe.
Exactly. And
All the TikTokers are safe.
Pilates, does it have its place? I'm going to say yes, because I have to. But I think dance is the one here for survival.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, and motorbikes and braille. All right, so I've actually got a little game. So in whichever apocalypse scenario we come into, it could be weapons are going to be useful, right? And so are Pilates moves. So I've got a game called Pilates move or weapon. Okay. So I'm going to read you some Pilates moves and some weapons.
Don't worry, I'm not long-sighted, so.
Okay. And you have to tell me. So for example, jackknife. Is it a Pilates move, a weapon, or other?
Pilates move.
That is correct. But it is also, of course,
Is it a weapon as
a
well?
weapon, a jackknife, yeah.
So it's both. Right, okay,
Both.
I've got
A lot
I've
of
got
them
the hang
will
of
be
this.
both.
I've got. Oh, thanks for telling me.
No. Okay. What about the penguin slide?
The penguin slide. That's a Pilates move. Is it both?
It's neither.
It's that's so mean. I feel like that's a dance move, right?
It could be.
Okay.
All right.
So we got one for two.
Okay. The Zweihander.
Zweihander. Oh, it sounds very Viking. That's a weapon.
You're correct. It is a massive German two-handed sword.
Oh, like this. What kind of swords do you have? Two-handed swords like that? That's two swords.
I was.
Not a two-handed. That's two swords you were doing. Unless you're holding the sword like that.
Yeah, it's got two handles. It's like bike handles.
Why the hands at the side? What kind of sword? That's not a sword. That's a saw.
No, it's got two handles.
Why
It's
is
like a
your
little
sword
V-shaped.
V-shaped? Why is it? What kind of attack mechanism is this?
Because
That
it's
is-
like lighter on the wrist.
That's called scissors. What you're thinking?
No, because
of?
it's got one blade and they don't separate. So it joins. It's like a contraption here. So if these are the pillars, my arms are the pillars here. And it's making like a little tent shape.
If we somehow go back into it, I don't want you in my team in the medieval wars right now. You can have your V-shaped Zweihander. I'm gonna go for my traditional long sword.
Okay. Boomerang.
Ooh, both.
It is in fact
I've
both.
not heard of the boomerang Pilates move.
Huh?
What's the boomerang Pilates move?
Boomerang. It is like a little V-sit with the legs going down and up.
Oh, that's an ab one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very intensive core
yeah.
exercise.
Oh, I know that one. Okay.
So we're going to do two more.
Okay.
We've got
I'm 3 for 4 right now.
the Kusarijima.
This is like Japanese. That's a weapon.
You're so good at this game. It is a Japanese weapon combining a sickle and a weighted chain.
Oh yeah, it's the one they throw and then they hook it round and they pull it. Oh yeah. Oh man, deadly. Okay, 4 for 5. 4 for 5.
Okay, the swan dive.
The swan dive. That's neither.
It's a Pilates move.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is a swan dive?
It's like where you lift your chest.
Right.
So you can do it either on the mat or the reformer. But the swan dive, or on the barrel if you've got the barrel, you lift the chest. So it's often a back exercise.
Oh, so like you hyperextend the front of it.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
we have got a
I got
final
4 for 6.
4 for 6. We're gonna finish off one more. The man catcher.
The man catcher. Yeah, that's got to be both.
Nope.
Is it?
It's a weapon.
It's just a weapon.
It's just a weapon. I would love there to be a move in Pilates called a man catcher, though.
It's
That's so
It's
funny.
gonna be like that or something like that.
It'd
or
have to be something
this.
with like the magic ring between the legs and you just squeeze it really tight. No, so the man catcher, for those
Just a
listening, is
weapon.
not a Pilates move. However, if it were, it would definitely be a new
Some
name
sort
for
of
the inner thigh squeeze.
Yeah, with the ball of the ring.
Yeah. So it's a pole arm with a pronged head for trapping enemies.
Oh, I cannot visualize this.
Is it the one that the medieval ones, they had like the heads on the spears at the end?
Got you. Yeah, kind of like what they use for jousting almost.
All right, so that is that one over. But we have got a quick fire round to finish off with. So no explanations here. I'm just going to go through a list of apocalypse scenarios, and you have to tell me which fitness scenario. Okay.
Okay.
Which fitness scenario? Okay. Robot uprising.
Dance fitness robot moves.
Okay, smart. Vampire apocalypse.
Oh gosh. Parkour.
Asteroid strike.
Asteroid strike. Running.
Dogopolypse.
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 Dogopolypse. I think I'm gonna go with Pilates for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna have to do a lot of running with them, but we need to be flexible for it because we're gonna have sudden movements while they get distracted with squirrels.
Right.
Yep.
Smart. Okay, so final question. If you had to bet your life on one fitness style in the apocalypse, which would you pick?
Parkour.
Yeah, I meant to say Pilates.
And
Okay.
I just got the meme in my head. Parkour.
Parkour. I know, it's so funny. So
I meant to
today
Pilates.
we've learned... No, I mean, you can say what you want, but as someone who does Pilates, you're meant to like vouch for it. So we've learned that Pilates is 100% what is going to save our lives in the apocalypse because we love Pilates. It is not parkour, not running, not being a Navy SEAL. Pilates is what's going to save us.
Pilates is what's going to make us all survive.
Yeah. And dance fitness as well, in case we need some sign language.
Strong second.
Yeah, strong second. And
Why
I can dance, I promise. You know, watching. If anyone's watching, they wouldn't think I can dance.
A little bit of this.
I can do a little bit.
A little bit of that.
Exactly. All right. So So we're rounding off Pilates, dance fitness, parkour, and running. And Navy SEAL.
And Navy SEAls.
We'll edit this. Thank you for listening.